what are we doing? No, really, what is happening? If you don't know what I'm talking about, the latest patch notes for Sea of Thieves listed a fix for Harpoon boarding. This follows the recent silent boarding patch, which I was actually okay with, by the way, that ultimately didn't even fix silent boarding as far as we know. Rare is apparently determined to nerf the game into the ground. I don't even know if I remember the last time something was actually buffed. This is a complicated issue, so before I get ahead of myself, let me explain what harpoon boarding actually is. If you're unaware, in choppy water under just the right conditions, you could grab the harpoon to board at the front of the boat. Like silent boarding, this method isn't necessarily fair for new players, but it is so uncommon that I struggled to find a clip of it. It is extremely circumstantial and takes a certain level of skill to recognize and pull off, unlike silent boarding, which is just blocking before you grab the ladder, which can actively be abused. To be clear, I am against this harpoon board fix. The more little techniques like this get removed, the lower the skill ceiling becomes and the flatter the PvP gameplay is. You have to remember that there's no stat progression in Sea of Thieves. The progression is knowledge of how the game works and little moves like this. Just like the first time you learned how to lunge jump, it felt like ability unlocked. But again, harpoon boarding was not extremely common. I have no idea why this issue was tackled before the litany of other real issues. However, the real tragedy here is that you will no longer be able to harpoon board your own boat. So I had already recorded part of this video assuming that we could no longer grab the harpoon from the front of our ship in midair, like when you're jumping from the dock or ship to ship when moving treasure, which is a huge quality of life feature, bug, thing. But this still works post-patch. So right now you can still do this, which either means they're detecting when you're in water to deny the board, or they just failed to patch harpoon boarding completely, which, given their track record with the silent boarding, it wouldn't be too surprising. And like I said earlier, I had already recorded this bit previously, and I had like the wittiest, best segue into getting you to follow my Twitch channel, and I don't now, because it's currently almost 11 p.m. at night, and I'm having to record this again. So just do me a favor, come hang out, follow the channel, I'd appreciate it. As you can probably guess, the hardcore community is not very happy about this change. Content creators are out in droves on Twitter in a way I haven't really seen before for a single patch note. It'll be interesting to see how Rare responds to this, but my hopes aren't too high. They almost assuredly received the same level of negative feedback before this change went live. Maybe next week we'll be talking about how Rare removed ladders, but until then, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, y'all.